Hey everyone, Jeff again, Elite Sports Shooting. Merry Christmas. Today I wanted to do something fun. I wanted a little bit of a distraction. So what I want to do is I would like to piece together what I think would be a really good idea for a shotgun. So if I could build a shotgun designed and tailored specifically to the type of shooter I am, that's what I want to build today. Not physically build, but metaphorically build. So before I get into it, I always give a shout out to the GUGULUZA Gun Sock and the Jielisi Gun Sock. I've been in so many gun stores all over Alberta, all over the and throughout the United States, into BC, and I didn't really hit any while I was in Saskatchewan, but everywhere I go, these gun socks usually go for 17 to 20 something, 22 bucks a piece, which is absolutely ridiculous. I have these on every gun in my safe here, on all the rifles. The Jielisis, since they're a little bit more elasticy, they went over my rifle and scope. I don't know if they'll go over a box magazine. I don't have one. So, but the GUGULUZAs are really good for. They don't have as much elasticity, so they're really good for shotguns. Something that's kind of, more slender. But I do put these on some of the shotguns as well. I color coordinate everything, so I do like all the colors, the variation in colors that they do come with. So I'm going to jump right into it. I'm going to reach for the Beretta A400. Now this is the Extreme Unico. It did not come with the oversized controls. I put those on. I did make a separate video of that. But one thing that I do love about this shotgun here is the kick-off recoil reduction system. This shotgun takes 3.5-inch rounds like a champ. It takes it really, really well. This recoil reduction system is smooth. It absorbs a lot of that recoil before it gets shoved into your shoulder. I did do a video on this gun, if you want, and a range video, so you could actually, if you want, just go check out the recoil on the range video. But anyways, there's a lot of things I like about this shotgun, but that's all I'm going to say is off of this shotgun here. I would take the kick-off recoil reduction system. Now, as far as a receiver, now this is the Gearson MC312. It's basically a Benelli M2. Beautiful action. I have put between probably about 3,500 rounds, between 3 and 3,500 rounds. I'd have to check the book because I keep track of all the shots, the amount of ammunition that I put through each shotgun, because if I go sell any of these, I want the next owner to know exactly what has gone through these. Now, if Gearson is listening, oversized controls. Now I left this is a rubber stopper from the gun store, so when it sits in the gun rack, it has a rubber gun stop on it to make sure it doesn't scratch the next gun beside it. But I leave it on because I like the oversized control. I've actually grabbed onto it, and it's fairly small, but if it had the oversized controls, it'd be perfect. But I just leave this on. It just makes it a little bit easier for me to rack that action. But yeah, that action is actually pretty good. Like I said, I have not cleaned it yet. Gearson actually says that You could put 5,000 rounds through this without cleaning it. I will put it through the test, and after 5,000 rounds I will do a cleaning video on it. So I'm going to set that down. Now the Benelli Supernova, it does have a high vented sight rail. It's not as high as I'd like, but what I do like about the Benelli Supernova, it does have a mid bead and a fiber optic 4-bead. These are some of the small things that I like. So I find I'm more accurate. I'm pretty accurate with this. It is a pump action shotgun. It cycles really well. I'm not here for the action. It's the fiber optic 4-bead and the mid bead. But yeah. So if I could have the kickoff recoil reduction system off the Beretta A400, if I could have the action of the Gearson MC312, if I could have the mid bead and the fiber optic 4-bead. Now, if you've watched any of my videos, then you've seen me do quite a few videos on the Stoker P350. I've never given a shotgun more of a chance in my life. This has the high vented sight rail. I will say this has the highest vented sight rail on any shotgun that I own. I am pretty accurate with this. I still have issues with the bolt, but I clean the bolt before every time I shoot it. It only takes me 3 minutes, but I just take it apart, put it and clean the bolt, put it back together. I'm done inside of 3 minutes. So really, it's a pretty good shotgun. I just have a procedure. But the high vented sight rail on the Stoker, the Inertia Plus. So the Rite Gordian has the Inertia Plus system, which means if you're in a blind and you need to load, you got you didn't put any rounds or ammunition in your shotgun, and you load it. If you're in a blind and you go like that, you've made a bunch of noise. There's a good chance that everything's being scared away. But if you could put a round in and then slowly, ever so slowly, push that bolt carrier forward, it's actually loaded and it will shoot. On every other shotgun here, you gotta let it rack. You gotta rack it. You have to let it slam shut. It's just something you have to do. But not on the Rite Gordian. With the Inertia Plus, it is beautiful. I put that in a video, in my video as well. I have not done a cleaning video on this. I do want to put some more rounds through it before I actually do a cleaning video on it. The weighted system. So this is the Breda Sporting Titano 930i. Now, when I say sexy or gorgeous, this is gorgeous. But what I would take from this, I do love the oversized controls, but what I would take from this is the weight system. So it's got a weight balance system. So you could actually, this actually comes off this anodized blue cap, and there's 2 weights in here, because when I'm shooting, if it's too light out front, then I find that I whip it, but with a little bit more weight in front, I actually find I'm more accurate. Now, if this is a sporting design for sports shooting, why didn't you put a high vented sight rail on this? That would be beautiful. That would be ideal. There's you can adjust the comb on this, and you can actually put it comes with 2 more weights. It came with 4 or 6 weights, little 2-ounce weights that you screw in, and then if you want, you can pull the rubber butt pad off and put 2 more, maximum of 2 or 3 in the butt stock here. But the weight system, that's what I would actually put somewhere, put on my gun. So now we're getting to the end. I will say that the Breda 930i also comes with a 30-inch barrel with an extended choke tube. I'd like a minimum of 20 inches or 28 inches. I have one that's a 26. I'm pretty accurate with it, depending on what choke I put on it. But the Browning Max is 2. So a couple of things I like about the Browning Max is 2. Now it is a gas-operated system, and it does have oversized controls. It has a rear crossbolt safety. It just the crossbolt safety doesn't float my boat, but the trigger group is so big I can't have it on the front. My fingers just wouldn't be long enough. So it just makes sense to have the rear crossbolt safety on the Maxus 2. But the mid bead and the 4-bead, the fiber optic 4-bead, it has the soft comb cheek pad. Now the Remington Versamax had one of the best soft comb cheek pads. It had the best, almost one of the best butt pads. It was like a foam rubber butt pad. This is actually pretty good, but the Remington was the best. I don't have it here today. I had to give it back, but I look to purchase one maybe next year. But anyways, that soft comb cheek pad, really love that. And I like a larger trigger group, but I prefer now I have, this is the A400 or A300 Extreme Unico. I do like that front crossbolt safety. Now whether it's the A400, this one's round, it's got a reasonably sized trigger group. I know there's a lot of people out there that have had issues with their A300s and their trigger group, but that was on the Outlander. This is the Ultima. So, well, I guess we'll see. Time will tell. This is, I've only probably got about maybe 250, 300 rounds through this. I look forward to putting more rounds through it. But I do like a larger trigger group. The Winchester has a nice large trigger group if you're wearing gloves. And it does have that front crossbolt safety. It does have the higher vented sight rail. It is fairly light. But the crossbolt safety I love the best is on the A400. Now, I wish I would have bought the A400 Extreme Plus, but I love the look, the feel of the front crossbolt safety on the A400. So, we can do a recap. The kickoff recoil reduction system and the safety on the front crossbolt safety on the A400. The high vented sight rail on the Stoger. On a high vented sight rail, the mid bead and the 4-bead. The fiber optic 4-bead. A large trigger group. The action of the Gearson MC312 or the Benelli M2. The Inertia Plus system from the Rite. The counterbalance weights from the Breda Titano 930i. 30-inch barrel. A 28 to 30-inch barrel would be fine. I usually run an extended choke tube anyways. And last but not least is oversized controls, a good rubber butt pad, and a soft comb cheek pad. There's nothing worse than, I find when I line this up, it has a slightly high vented sight rail, but I can, if I had to, I put my cheek right against that comb cheek pad, and it's really not that bad. So when I get beat up, it's not hard plastic. But one thing I do not like is on the A300 and the A400 Extreme Plus, it has a rubber overlay that I'm not fond of. It rubs back and forth on my face and kind of chafes it. But yeah, so as you can tell, I do have a few shotguns. I love them all. I love things about them, but I wish I could combine them all into one shotgun. So I don't know, hopefully this finds a gun manufacturer well, and they could actually design something ideally for me. The Breda Titano was designed to be a sport shooter, but if it's designed to be a sport shooter, why didn't it have a higher vented sight rail? Then it'd have pretty much everything except for the soft comb cheek pad and a good rubber butt pad. But anyways, I would love to hear your comments, things that you like about shotguns, just some things maybe that I haven't mentioned, maybe I haven't found out yet. Maybe I haven't paid much of attention because I'm shooting so many. Of course I have a couple of favorites, but who doesn't? I love them all, but sometimes when you're going down the range you can only take a couple. Sometimes I take them all, which is it is fun on a different level, especially when I'm taking people to the range. So anyways, that's it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a fun video and I really enjoyed making it. And if you haven't hit that like button, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like the content, I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet hit the subscribe button, go ahead and do so. And always remember, keep both eyes on your target, and I look forward to seeing you next year. Thanks everyone.